what a good first person to want to
Yeah.
get your.
I was just like,
your
this is like
content.
my inner child was like, this is so
You're
cool.
like, yes.
I was like, why is this so cool? I don't
That's
know.
awesome.
Yeah.
What's up, guys?
What's up, guys?
Welcome back to the Busybody Podcast. Thanks for tuning in on another amazing week. We hope all of you guys are doing amazing. And today we got a special guest in the house,
We
Dallas
do.
Hearts.
Woo!
Stop,
We're also
stop.
missing somebody, you know.
That's okay.
In the
Yeah.
room. But we kind of just, I'm just kidding.
Jake, I love
Jake,
you.
we love you.
But,
Jake, what was his last name?
yeah.
I already forgotten.
I don't know, Skywalker.
Those Skywalkers.
He's going to look at this and be like, guys.
Guys, this is our 30th episode. So Dallas, that means you're a very special man, first off.
I feel very special. Thank you for having me.
And Brandon just turned 30, which is crazy.
Perfect timing.
Perfect timing.
I'm still processing it, guys. I don't even know what to think right now, but this is exciting, and it just kind of goes to show how long I've been in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
I was 15 when I came here. Now I'm 30.
Same.
Kind of blows my mind.
Yeah, I mean,
Same.
honestly, same.
And I was 15 when we met, right?
Yeah.
And
We've known each other for almost 15 years now, I guess.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Guys,
That
that's
is
powerful
crazy.
relationship.
It makes me a little sad, but also
Yeah.
very happy to know you.
Yeah, exactly.
But
If it matters, you both look great. Okay, we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
thank you.
Jake is also part of our 15-year group in the house. And then when did we meet, Kirsten?
You were 20, babe.
I was 20.
Yeah, this has been about.
Well,
10
no,
years.
there's that one comment about me in the
Oh,
trunk
yeah.
of the
Good
car.
point. I thought you were funny, but
Wait, I'm sorry. Trunk of the car?
Okay. All right, I'll do a long story short.
yeah,
So
we gotta get
a
back
f-
to business.
Yeah. A few years into our relationship, you know how Facebook does Facebook memories.
Yeah.
So there was like a status of Facebook memories of someone posting when we were all hanging out on the Oakwood days. There and then they said some comments about what we did that night, and then about some guy in the trunk or whatever. I was apparently the guy in the trunk. I don't know why I was in a trunk of a
remember-
car.
yeah, I don't
I don't
remember this.
remember the day at all. But then but Kirsten writes a comment on this status whenever this was years ago, and she's like, that guy in the trunk was so funny. And then I write back to her and I was like, I'm that guy in the trunk, winky face. And she
No
just
way.
did not respond to me. She didn't respond back.
Our destinies collided without meaning. Back then, I still rejected it. I'm so sorry, babe.
Yes.
He's
I
so
thought
funny,
you were
but
funny.
yeah, you know.
You're funny. It's
Yeah.
okay.
But
Wow.
back on track. So Dallas, you've built an amazing online presence, and you've also built a great name for yourself in the acting world. So
And music world. You're
And
an
music
incredible
world.
artist and writer as well.
correct.
Yes. So
Thank you.
So was it always LA, or did you come to LA at a certain age?
Yeah, I mean, I came around the same time as you.
Yeah.
But I'd been acting long before that, and my theater program at my school was really huge.
Yeah,
Right
okay.
after I left, they built this huge like auditorium theater thing. I was so mad about
Oh,
that.
you're like,
God.
come on.
I was like, come on, you could have done that like 2 years earlier.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did a lot of musicals, a lot of theater there, and then I moved to Los Angeles to pursue it professionally.
That's beautiful. What was your first ever project out here?
Oh boy, some student film.
Let's go back down there.
Some student film. What was it called? Anyway, I play like this guy who's like saves this girl from drowning, and then it was a very artistic, interesting film. I was super young, didn't know what I was doing, and for a long time that clip was on my my acting reel actually up until a
Really?
few years ago. Yeah, because I loved it. It was great. It looked great
Yeah.
for a student film. Even it was awesome.
Plus, it
That's
got
all-
you into what you love.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, and I'm curious too. So, what got you into acting? Was it family, or are you the only one out of your family that's in this world? Like, what got you in it?
Yeah, definitely. Part of it was family. My mom was an actress and a musician and singer, and she actually toured with her band. She has like an album with her music on it. So
It's legit.
That's so
yeah,
funny.
it definitely stems from her. And then
How do I not
just-
know that? I've known
I
your
know,
mom for
right?
so long.
I know. She doesn't talk
She
about it.
had
She
some
never
big
talks
people
about it.
actually be her like backup people, right? Yeah,
That's
she had some
crazy.
powerful. Yeah.
She never. It's like she never brags. She'll never be the person like, oh yeah, like back in my like. She never talks about that stuff. So
Yeah.
But yeah, it definitely comes from her.
Okay. And Kirsten mentioned the music world, right? So, has music and acting always been kind of hand in hand, or did you branch off into music within your acting journey, somewhere within it?
Yeah, I definitely loved both. Growing up doing a lot of musical theater, it was kind of together, it was just like
Right.
one and the same. I loved both of them equally, but obviously acting made more sense, I guess, just because getting into music is so difficult and it takes years and years and years, or like sometimes luck for music,
Right.
especially with social media these days. You get one good video and
Boom.
you could pop off.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So acting just made more sense. I was meeting more people in that world and decided to pursue that pretty much. And that music, I love music, but I don't look to make money from it.
Yeah.
It's more just like a passion that I love.
Which is really powerful.
I love
What
that.
was your big break moment? Do you think you've had a big break moment for acting that you're really proud of?
Yeah, definitely. When I booked the Netflix show, it was great.
Yes.
Let's go.
What was the show, Dallas?
It's called Greenhouse Academy. It's 4 seasons on Netflix.
Yes. Wait, is season 2 coming out?
Season 5.
Season 5.
No,
That's
unfortunately, COVID ruined any plans for moving forward on that. But I am talking with another studio about potentially doing like a movie.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's huge.
I remember you filming that too. So, because you filmed that overseas, right?
Yeah.
So how was
Aviv.
how was the like transition of filming like over there? Like that was something like so out of your world.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I traveled a little bit before, but nothing like this. And it's honestly the best thing in the world. It's
Yeah.
the best. Like, I love being able to travel, get out of, like, you're literally transported from your normal life into something completely different.
Yeah.
And that's how, like, helps me get into the role and helps me get into this headspace because it's like, it's just a totally different space that I'm used to. And
Yeah,
I
it's
love
not
that.
it's not like, oh, you're not just walking into Warner Brothers in
Yeah,
a
driving
studio.
50
You're
minutes away to
like,
the
You're like on a
studio.
plane.
Yeah,
What are
exactly.
some ways that you prep for your role? Like, do you have any like routines or?
Definitely. I have this little booklet that I got from acting classes that I've been to, and it kind of breaks down, especially in a scene, like what I'm supposed to be paying attention to, and like, where does the scene go? What am I getting out of this person? What do I want from this person? Is it love? Is it power? So you write all these things down, especially for an audition. Like when I get used to the character, I kind of know those things automatically, so I don't need to write them down. But for an audition specifically, it's really great to put those things down. And then, kind of when you're in the scene, you can think about those things and it'll pop up and it's like, oh, like that kind of fits for this line right here. And it's kind of in the moment, kind of pulling from real life of that character.
That's
like
actually
that.
really clever.
So
I think I should take that and do it into music.
Yeah, you can do it with music.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
say you can do that with
It's-
like real life, with like friendships. And,
Yeah.
and, if you have like something that you've been wanting to talk to your friend about,
Yeah.
kind of write everything down that you're looking to have in that conversation. And it'll help
Yeah.
you.
That's really because it helps organize your brain so
Yeah.
that you can stay focused.
Yeah.
yeah, the structure, the strategy is nice.
What is the
And
book called? Sorry.
No, go ahead.
It's not called anything. It's just a bunch of questions, and it's like a little pamphlet booklet thing. It's not really
Yeah.
like a book.
Just gonna email
So-
it to me.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'll send it to you. It's very in depth. You don't have to do the whole thing, but yeah.
But somewhat of it.
Yes.
So something that goes kind of like hand in hand with what you're saying, because it's been a conversation for numerous amount of guests on the podcast. Jake himself, when you during the whole COVID era, like obviously the industry took a huge transition. One of the biggest transitions was, the audition world. Instead of going into a room and getting callback and just multiple times in the room, multiple people, it just went to like straight self-tape for like a few years.
Yeah.
And then we heard, I'm not too sure, but we heard that it's now getting a little bit back into in-person auditions or interviews. But it's like, what do you prefer and what's your take on that?
Yeah. It's definitely not going too much back into the room, especially not in LA. LA is just changing completely in the industry. A lot of things moving to Texas, Atlanta, all over the place.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Canada.
Canada. But
Which it always has been in those locations.
it always has been.
Yeah.
But like, especially with tax incentives coming right now, like a lot of stuff is
Yeah.
moving. A lot,
So
a lot.
when you say Texas, like a lot of filmings, or are they building studios out there?
They're building studios.
Even in,
I
in
heard of-
Albuquerque, they have Netflix.
Yeah. I think
Right?
they're building a huge Netflix one in Texas, though.
in
Yeah.
Texas.
If I remember correctly.
Because I heard a lot of the big time actors building some crazy studio project in Vegas too.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, they're kind of just
Vegas is
getting super
growing.
spread out.
Vegas is growing with the entertainment industry. I've seen a couple casting opportunities that film in Vegas.
When it's also just desert, so all you got to do is just keep building.
Yep.
Just
I think that
build.
they're
And there's so much
doing
money in Vegas.
a big
Yeah.
project right now, like a couple $1 billion into Vegas for some new things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've got the money for it. They're making
They're
tons of money.
going
They
in.
can invest in whatever
Yep.
they want out there.
You know, we kind of skipped over this, Dallas, but you said you're trying to make it into a movie. That's pretty huge.
yeah.
The show. Yeah. So either like a one more season kind of wrap up thing or like a wrap up movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I got to talk to the showrunner and see if that would even be possible, or Netflix too.
Would that be something you'd be really interested in helping direct and produce as well as act, or just like?
Yeah, probably produce.
Yeah.
Probably produce. I don't know about directing, but definitely would be fun to produce and kind of work on the story structure of it.
Yeah, that's so exciting.
Yeah.
Got to keep us posted on that, because
I will.
I know
Yeah.
your fans have been dying and anticipating.
Oh my
Like
gosh.
every 5 seconds, I see it. I'm like, man, give them what they want.
Yeah, I know. They're always there. They're always asking for it, for sure.
What a
for
gift to
sure.
have people really like follow your career though, and really care about the next things that you're doing and what
Yeah.
you're building. Is there any future projects right now that you're, other than this movie, that you're really anticipating or have plans for?
Well, before you answer that question,
Oh,
congratulations on the new Western movie that recently came out.
Thank you.
yes,
Huge.
Dallas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see that?
No, I got to
Yeah.
see it.
It was fun. It was definitely very different than the show,
Yeah.
which all the fans are used to.
Now, was that filmed here?
It was filmed like 3 hours north.
3 hours north.
California.
Okay.
Yeah, like in the kind of Redwoods area.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that could count as a big project that just came out.
That's a huge project. That's
Massive,
fantastic.
Dallas.
Congratulations, bro.
Thank you. Yeah. So much fun. I think that was probably the cast was just so funny in between takes, like all the time. Like all
Oh,
the
you see-
running jokes that we have
Yeah.
were just like, it was just nonstop. As soon as it was cut, it was just like boom. Like
That's awesome.
See,
Yeah.
that's
It makes it lighthearted, fun to be around.
exactly.
I feel like that's something most people won't think about too. It's like okay, the movie's great, but what was the process of filming it? Like I feel like there's some nightmare stories too, but it's like having like such a great cast, great team, like and good energy is like a dream
Yeah.
project.
Yeah, everyone works so well together. And it was like that on the show too, but this was so different because it wasn't like, I don't know, it was very intense and action and drama. And then in between it was just like,
Yeah.
You got to
funny-
breathe for a second.
yeah, I got to breathe.
Yeah.
You're like, whew, that was serious. But it's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it always
great.
pretty like simple to keep the character in place since it was like so like funny and humorous outside of takes and then in takes very serious?
Yeah.
Or, like-
I mean, I've always been pretty good at like flipping the switch.
Yeah.
So I try not to get too distracting in between, but like
Yeah.
when I do know I have downtime and it's just like, I'm not just gonna be sitting there like mulling in the moment and waiting. Cause like, I don't know, you just gotta be able to flip that switch if you can.
Yeah.
It also helps probably with the balance of like your personal life versus your actor's life. Is like you get to keep both.
Yeah.
Is there any like struggles that you do have in that, or is it there like practices that you kind of put together so that you don't lose track of having a personal life? Or
Yeah, I think that when I'm filming, it's just like making sure that I give the character everything it deserves. But once it's done, you know, you just go back, you take what you learned from that role and you move forward.
yeah, probably learn a lot for yourself too in
Yeah.
roles,
Every role, you learn
Yeah.
something new. Every role.
because you're building new characters inside of yourself.
Yeah, you have to dig deep and, you know, find the reasons why he's feeling the things that he's feeling.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, I can kind of relate this to this in my life or stuff
Yeah.
like that.
What has been your hardest struggle in this career, and kind of how did you get yourself out of it or motivated to do the next step?
The hardest struggle is always like the in between, I guess, is just never knowing what's going to come next. So there's no consistency. That's
Yeah.
probably the hardest part.
Mm-hmm.
I can relate.
I think everyone in entertainment can relate.
We can all relate that we're a jumbled, chaotic mess. I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
In
'cause
the
it's like,
best way possible.
Where do you find consistency in entertainment? Like almost ever.
No, you can't. I got home the other day from Seoul and my friends were like, oh, so what's your routine? I was like, no, I don't build no routine because I'm in different time
I see.
zones every 5 seconds.
See, that's hilarious. It's funny too because it's like, work can be all over the place, right? Like you can have work, and some days you have no work, and you're like, "What do I do now?" But
Yep.
that's why it's like I have to do I have a routine for sure.
Yeah.
But it's like my personal routine, like not work related routine.
Yeah.
And it's like as long as I'm doing that mentally, I'm gonna be okay. I'll figure it out.
Same.
Yeah.
I have
Yes.
my morning routine.
Yeah.
I
That's
have
important.
my nighttime routine.
Yeah.
And then everything else in between is kind of just
I've got to
Yeah.
get
what,
there.
what I can
okay?
get done that day.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. But it's like that personal routine mentally, where you're like, all right, well, I got rid of my goals, banged them out. I'm good. On to the next thing, if there's a next thing. But at least we're feeling good.
At least
Exactly.
we're living.
Yeah.
I got to get better at the nighttime routine and the morning routine. I don't really have any routine. I think
Yeah.
I have items that make me feel safe.
Well, yes.
I pace a lot if I have nothing to do, but
Yeah.
there's always something to do.
For sure, paces. Yeah, that's an understatement right there. I love you. It was funny because I forgot why we were doing this, but we had this moment where I was dead tired. Is today Thursday? Okay, so on the days that I train early in the mornings, because I train 3 times a week with my trainer. It's like 6 a.m. right? So it's like those days I'm tired earlier, and I was getting ready to go to bed, and I go to her and I'm like, "Hey, do you want to come to the bed with me?" She's like, "No, I'm sick of doing the same thing every day." She's like, "I'm sick of doing this."
It mentally hurts
over
me to do
I
the
don't
same
want to
thing
go to the
every
bed
day.
when you go to the bed.
And there are different kind of minds, because I read this book that said that sometimes daily routines aren't right for you.
Yeah.
So like it might not
Okay.
even be for you. Like
Yeah.
it's not for everybody. When someone says like, "Oh, you don't have a daily routine," like, wow, that's terrible. That's
Right.
not built like everyone isn't built for that.
I appreciate that, Dallas, because
Yeah.
now I feel like a weight off my shoulder because I genuinely feel like my routine is to do something different every day.
Yeah, and that could be your routine.
Oh, yeah,
It's my
yeah.
routine.
Yeah, no, she constantly reminder does not want to hop on my routine. just
Okay, babe, your routine is magical. Yeah, go ahead.
okay, fine.
We both have questions for you, Dallas. So
Well, to backtrack real quick. So, for example, prepping. Let's say prepping for a role you booked or prepping for an audition that may give you a pretty big script, right? So, I remember you saying you have a great memory.
Yeah.
Like you can basically read and boom, you got it done, right? So,
Photographic memory, yeah.
yeah, so
disrespect. Just kidding. I wish.
Why
So
can't
do
you
you-
learn these lines,
Yeah.
bro?
So are you basically like, let's say like you get an audition like a week before it's due, pretty big script. Do you prepare all week, or are you the type of person where it's like the day or two before you read it, you get it done, you memorize it, and boom, you just throw it into the camera?
I like having as much time as possible to, dive into the reasons why I'm saying the lines.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to memorizing, I'll do it the night before.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
I'll jot down notes and,
Yeah. You build out the character in your head,
yeah.
but then you focus on what's being said right before.
Yeah, I take all my scenes that I'm in, I put it into a binder,
Mm-hmm.
highlight all my lines,
Mm-hmm.
go read through a few times, jotting down notes as I go. And then I'll take the scenes out that I'm doing the next day and memorize them the night before.
Nice. Okay.
Probably helpful
See-
to make it very real, come off the page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if there's big monologues, I'll definitely learn those
Yeah.
first.
Okay.
I
That's
believe
the
you.
first thing that I do.
Read
You're
it
like,
now.
Let me do the monologue, because like when you do short lines and you know the scene well enough to be like, okay, I know what the end goal of the scene is.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even need to really memorize the lines. It kind of just like, if the writing's
It
good,
flows.
it just kind of flows.
Yeah.
They say their line, you're like, okay, like what's the end of the scene? Okay, cool. Like that's
Yeah.
just the next line. Yeah.
And then and it's basically you're like adding up to like my thoughts, which is great. So it's like when things are like kind of flowing like that, like in the past projects you've done, have you just found yourself just like improvising, and and then your director producer were like, you know what, I like that way better. Like
I'll improvise as much as possible,
yeah,
and I'll do it until they tell me not to.
okay,
So, if there's a line change sometimes I'll even make line changes before like not improvising, but
yeah,
kind of like, oh, I don't know if this is like exactly how I would say it as this character.
Mhm.
So I'll make little changes. I'll usually
Okay.
talk to the director beforehand.
okay,
Like, here's what I'm thinking, what do you think? And they'll
Mhm.
either go like, yeah, that's good, or like they'll usually say, yeah, that's good. That's like 90% of the time.
Yeah.
And then 10% of the time, like, no, like we have to stick to the line that
what
as
it
it
is.
was.
Yeah.
At least you ask. That's important.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Respecting where you're at in it.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. Well, I'm excited to go and watch this new movie.
Yeah, check it out.
Yeah. I'm really proud
super
of
fun.
you.
I look like a wild man.
A wild man.
You don't look the same. Yeah, you don't.
Yeah,
you
no.
definitely don't.
I
Look
look
the
like
same.
a totally different person.
Yeah.
Makes me just
Yeah.
want to go and creep it now and so I can know the joke here.
Yeah. I just big beard,
Yeah.
long hair,
You have a big beard.
dirty, bruises
Wow.
the whole
Well,
time.
that's your most recent project, right?
No. I've actually filmed.
Well, that's released.
released. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So we'll throw that in description based.
Yes.
Yes.
Check it out.
Yeah.
Check it
And then
out.
that goes also hand in hand with your health, your fitness transformation, right?
Yeah.
So how's that journey been going?
Great, man. Honestly, when I was at my worst was probably right when I filmed that movie or right before I filmed that movie.
Wow.
Which worked out for that movie. It was great.
Yeah.
The Lord knows.
Worked out perfectly right then and there. I was like, okay,
Let's
that makes
use
sense.
this for something.
They're like, wow, this happened. Okay.
Yeah, but then I got back and I was drinking a lot, like not like a lot, but like more than I would like to. So I jumped right into like the 75 hard.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
75
Okay.
hard.
Yeah.
You know, exercise twice
Went
a day.
right into it.
Yeah.
Like as soon as I got back from filming, I jumped right in. So I did the 75 hard. I only made it like 60 days, but it's still pretty good.
That's a lot though. Yeah.
So that helped a lot, and then kind of fell off again. Kept a lot of the healthy habits from the 75, but wasn't
Okay.
like 75 every day.
Right.
And I just started the 75 again, like 30 days ago.
Wow.
Now, this time I see like the real changes because like I really focus on the diet,
Yeah.
and just working out like way more intense than I was before.
Yeah. And still twice a day.
I'll usually do like a really long gym session.
Okay.
It's supposed to be twice a day, once
Sure.
inside, one outside.
Yeah.
I'll do that half the time, and then the other time I'll do like a 2-hour session.
Nice. And what's that diet look like?
Diet is just no gluten, no dairy, and that's pretty much it. And just timing the meals better, so I'm not eating really late at night.
Okay. So yeah, eating late at night, but then also making sure you don't get hungry in the middle of the day.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I like that. I feel like I almost want to do that,
It's very
But
simple.
without-
Yeah.
but without telling myself I'm gonna go on a diet. You know?
Yeah, because I want to get to the place where it's not like a diet or a fat or a 75
Right,
hard. I
right.
want it to be a living everyday thing.
Right.
Yeah.
But like to jumpstart it, I like to do the
Yeah.
stuff like the 75.
Yeah. Well,
It's
that's huge on
challenging.
the 60 days, and then now you said just over 30 days.
Yep. another
Nice,
30
man.
days.
That's
So
huge.
you're
Congrats.
90 days in.
well,
technically.
I mean, yeah, kind of.
Yeah. That's really cool.
Yeah.
I have a lot of friends that hopped on the 75 hard challenge in the last couple years. I did different kind of things for my body. I went like no caffeine
Yep.
for like 90
Same.
days, no beef for 90 days. That
Okay.
was different for me.
That's tough. Yeah.
Yes, that's a tough. I don't know. If I can
That's
do that.
very tough. But it was so worth it for me personally. I don't have gluten or dairy usually, so
That's good.
yeah, those
I
are
just know it's not good for my body specifically. Like I got to
Yeah.
test to see what was
Yeah.
right for my body. So it's different for
Same.
everyone.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm
Yeah.
afraid to go gluten free, to be honest.
It's really hard, and honestly, I do cheat sometimes. Like it's like if I'm out at a restaurant, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm just gonna,
Uh,
But if I'm cooking something at home, it better be,
gluten free.
Yeah. Well, I think actually, I mean, now that you say that, yeah, when you're cooking at home, I feel like naturally it's gluten free. You know,
Yeah.
especially if you're eating like lean meats and your vegetables and rice stuff like that, it's gonna be natural.
It
Exactly.
just depends on your sauces, and because I'm allergic to gluten, so like you have to like look out for those things. But like sauces have a
Yeah.
lot of gluten in them,
Yeah, we have this
And
ongoing joke when we go out to eat. She's gluten free, and I say gluten filled.
gluten filled. Yes. So it's
It's-
health,
it's- I feel like that's the hardest one to get around when you're eating out.
yeah.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
so
The hardest one.
completely hard.
Well, sometimes it almost makes eating out not fun or just too difficult.
It's like,
to
why
where
am I
it's like-
spending this much money
Right.
on this meal that I'm not even
I
really going
cave
to
Well,
enjoy?
sometimes.
what's even worse too is when you're like, okay, fine, I'm just gonna do it, or you find a restaurant that has gluten free, you order it, and then you just don't like the food,
Yeah.
and you
Yeah.
already paid for it. You're just like,
Yep.
you're better off just cooking.
Speaking to the choir over
Yeah, but it's so
here.
hard to find the time to cook too. So I've been trying to make
Right.
meals that are like in a crock pot or like, stuff that I can meal prep.
I was about to say, yeah, you meal prep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is health something that you're really passionate about, or is there something you're truly passionate about to make an impact, even just in the world in general, through your name and your voice?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, over the past like 2 years, definitely health, because I had like some health issues that still never even really got resolved. I still don't know what they are. I was going to doctors all the time,
Yeah.
trying to figure out what was going on. And I still have some of those symptoms, but I'm like pushing through them now because no one said like, oh, you're dying. So I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm like, okay, if I'm not
cool.
dying,
Yeah.
then I might as well just push through the pain and try to like, and going to the gym like every day has helped that a lot.
Yeah.
But I still get these like
Wow. strange
strange symptoms, and I'm trying to figure them out. So health is really important, but also like the healthcare system out here is just so bad. I don't know
God, bro.
how.
Don't even get me started.
You know what I mean? It's just like,
Raise my hands up.
yeah, I don't even know who to go to or where to go or like it's ridiculous.
Yeah, you
but
just- yeah.
I do everything I possibly can
Yeah.
to
Right.
be as healthy as I can.
Okay. That's awesome. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And very important just for the rest of what you're doing. Like your voice is not even just your speaking voice and your singing voice, but like your voice from within. Like, what is something that you feel is your message when you do any project or write music or this health journey? Like, that you want people who really are inspired by your life to know about you?
Yeah. I guess definitely just like it's such a long one. There's so many
okay.
different elements to it.
Yeah.
I guess I really just love connecting with people, and I would love to be a voice of like, I feel like there's so much controversy and especially with politics and everything, like people just like 50-50 of the country even is just like butting heads on everything.
Yeah.
And I just feel like there's another way to do it. Like
Yeah.
we should be able to conversate like this about anything
Yeah.
and everything.
Yeah.
And we shouldn't be arguing and fighting about stuff. So I guess just like bringing people together in a way that's positive and,
Yeah.
So connection. With
yeah,
people.
connections, huge.
That's a big thing. I mean, I feel like we as people all need that so deeply.
Yeah.
And communities, we talk about this a lot on the podcast, but like is what helps us have longevity in life.
Yeah.
And so do you feel like you have people in your life that you can, stand with you and walk with you as you go through these challenging times? Or is that something that you truly, I don't know, do you focus that a lot so that your health in your mental state is clear when you're, traveling or when you're going through these things with your body that you're not sure of?
Yeah, definitely. I do have the people I can go to. And it's kind of 50-50 for me because I want to be able to not have my emotions rely on other people's reactions. So I do go to people when I need them, but at the same time, I do want to work on myself and my inner self and be able to be like, no matter what, I can pull myself out of anything and be there for myself as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, having those people is super, super important.
Yeah, it's true. And plus, I feel like I've watched the engagement of the people who really admire everything that you put out. And it's cool to see how your journey can impact so many of those lives, like in so many different places.
Yeah.
Which I feel like you see a lot of the time. Is there a specific person or story that you have from somebody that's written you about like how you've inspired or impacted them?
Yeah, I've been starting to get more into like advice on the acting world, and I want to get more into it. But I've definitely received, actually just the other day, I received a message from someone who was the voice actress in Avatar: The Last Airbender.
That's awesome.
Really?
She plays Toph. We met at like some event.
Yeah.
And I posted like this whole acting thing with like advice and stuff. And she was just like, whoa, this is so cool. Can I like share it to my followers so like they can get the advice like through you? And I was like, yeah, of course. But I think more stuff like that would be great. Just like stuff that people want to share because it's educational and it gives them some information.
Yeah.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah.
What a good first person to want to
Yeah.
get your
Yeah.
I was just like,
your
this is like
content.
my inner child was like, this is so
You're
cool.
like, yes.
I was like, why is this so cool? I don't
That's
know.
awesome.
Yeah.
What a vibe.
Did you see the live action show?
I did.
Yeah.
I liked it. Did you not
What
like
did
it? At first it was a little awkward because they tried to act like the actual like cartoon.
That's
or
what got
anime.
me, but also just like the whole point of Avatar: The Last Airbender, especially the first season, is like they're teaching him how to,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
they're teaching him. There was like none of that. Like he
They're
didn't
teaching him.
like like the first season is called Water, and he never like water bends. I'm like, that's the whole point of the first
You
season.
bring it to our attention. Yes, you're correct.
That is kind of funny.
Boy. But yeah, I mean, there were elements that were great. Like, it looked really great.
So other than Toft, were there any other actors or actresses or mentors that you look up to? from childhood
From childhood.
or now? Either one.
From the very beginning.
Dun, dun, dun.
I mean, I was a huge Johnny Depp fan. He's a musician. He's an actor.
Yeah.
Any actors that do like a plethora of stuff and not just acting is inspirational to me.
Got their hands in many pockets.
Yes, it's just like talent isn't stuck in that one lane. You know, if you have the gift, it goes and it kind of branches out to everything.
Yeah, it flows.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got a song for us on the spot, Dallas?
A song on
A
the
song
spot?
on the spot.
Acapella like that?
Let's do
it. I can send you
Bro.
some new stuff, and you can play it over this part right here,
Right here.
Right.
Da-da.
and that's it.
I you know when she asked that question and you just spoke about Johnny Depp doing just like music and acting, it did remind me because you know I haven't been able to spend as much time with you recently, but you know growing up I basically every day at your house, your old house. You know
Yeah.
which one I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, I know the one.
Yeah.
Do you know the one?
Everyone knows that one.
So it's I remember it's like the instruments, the cameras in the garage. I remember the backyard, the filmings in the living room with all the guys just creating characters, and then hits like, hey, let's dabble into some music.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Sometimes I think about those times and I feel like I'm thinking of like an actual movie
Yeah.
that I watched.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys
And-
tapped into a lot of different projects together, didn't you?
Oh yeah,
Well-
a lot of creativity out of that house. I'm curious who lives in that house now. I'm
Yeah,
so
right?
curious who lives
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, it's funny too because even just previous houses I've lived in LA, I've like randomly thought to myself, for like, you know what? Sometimes I just kind of want to go knock on the door and see who's there and what they changed it into.
I've driven past once, and they stole a package of mine. By the way, whoever lives there, they
Oh,
stole
God.
Wow.
like a really good package.
Someone
so
did that to me the other day. They never answered the door.
Yep, because it got sent like right at the time I was moving, and so then I was like, I tried to go pick it up. Nobody was home, and the package was gone. They were like,
That's
oh, delivered and signed for it. I was like, what?
Yeah.
No.
So now I really want to know who lives in that house.
Yeah.
The worst part is like, yeah, her package too. It's like, or packages. It's been more than one. It's been more than one, and we've literally gone. I've gone with her sometime, and we've knocked on the door. They never answer, or the leasing office says, well, we didn't see anything. But it's like,
Of course they're gonna say that.
yeah, the company's like, it delivered, and it's like, well, they're obviously stealing all your packages that come in.
Jeez.
Yeah.
And it's kind of crazy because you never know what someone's being sent. Like we were sent in the mail someone's driver's license, like their new driver's license,
I don't know
and,
why it was sent to us. But
and it was
Interesting.
it was the guy who previously lived there, and I remember
because it's probably on the driver's license. He didn't change it.
Yeah.
That actually makes sense.
yeah, but the thing is that guy came looking for it, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, like here you go. I don't know why people are like, I didn't get anything. Don't bother
No,
me.
no.
what am I gonna do with someone else's mail? You know?
Yeah, unless it's like something really cool, then maybe I'll keep
Then
it.
maybe Jake was talking about on our last podcast how a delivery, a DoorDash would always
Oh,
deliver to
God.
his door
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
something, and he's like,
He said he got free food for like months.
because
That's a pretty good deal.
But
he
he
would
actually
tell them that this is their food, but then they would be like, oh, we'll just give him another one.
Well, no, because he was like he was saying he didn't get a hold of. It was a property where it was like the same address for two separate units, but the unit was on the completely other side, like the other road.
Got it.
And they just get the same address, and he didn't know how to communicate with the person, so he just kept calling. He called DoorDash, and he was like, "Hey, when you guys get a delivery for this address, it's not me; it's the one behind me on the other road. You guys bring it always to me." And I just don't know what to do with it. And they're like, don't worry, don't say anything to them. We're just gonna give them the money back, or we'll give them a free credit or something. He's like, okay, but then he just kept getting food delivered.
So there you go. That's how it feels.
Yeah,
to be on the
if
other
you
side
tried
of it.
already to fix the problem,
Yeah.
and then it keeps coming, is it even a problem anymore?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
feel like
It's
just,
like you did
It's
your
fate
part.
at that point.
yeah,
Okay,
just take the food.
Take the food.
Oh man.
What are some activities or things you like to do outside of your creative space? And 75 hard.
Yeah, I don't do too much outside of that. I don't really go out anymore unless it's like
I feel you.
game night at like
Game night.
friend's place or
Game
something.
nights are the best.
Yeah, they're so good.
Hold
Like,
on. What does game night look for you right now? Like what games?
Super random. I don't know, random stuff. Like we're not really strangers, or
Okay.
just card games
You know, there's
or
some
a good
game.
movie.
Okay.
It's like a party.
You know, nowadays when I
Party.
hear game night, I either get super excited or I just get like, it's gonna happen tonight. A fight is gonna happen tonight.
A fight? Oh, 'cause of the game.
Like a
I get
verbal
it, I get
fight,
it.
like a
What's
verbal
gonna break
fight.
out?
Like 9 out of 10 times when I play this game called Catan, as you
Oh,
guys
yeah.
know,
Oh, yeah.
someone always gets mad or
We
something.
stopped
else.
playing that game
We
because
did
of the,
stop
the
playing that
issues.
game. Yeah.
Also, your guys' Catan or Catan game took 4 hours every time.
Oh, yeah.
She always texted
If you-
me and she was like,
Are you
"How's?"
guys okay?
She's like, "Is game night still going on?" I'm like, "Yeah, we're still playing Catan."
Yeah, because if you play like 2 games, it could literally last that long.
Yeah. Well,
pretty
also
crazy.
our problem is like we would roll and then like we would just stop and talk and socialize.
Yeah.
And then we'd be like, "Oh
That's the
wait,
best
whose
part of
turn
game
is it?"
night.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
You gotta catch up.
We would literally pause and play, pause and play, pause and play. That's just how it always was. And then before we knew it, that's why most of the guys stopped playing, because they're like, our games of Catan took hours. And I'm like, well, it only takes hours because we don't play like back to back.
Oh, that's funny.
But yeah, that's one of those games. Recently, you guys know you know, do you know Jackbox?
Oh yeah,
That's been a
Fun.
popular game recently.
that one's fun. But it's always the stupidest answer that wins. It's just like something that doesn't even
know.
relate to the question. It's
You're
just
like,
like
come on.
Oh, bro.
Guespionage
always-
is funny too.
that is funny.
I like the T-shirt one, the TKO one, where you like someone draws a picture and then someone writes funny sayings.
Look,
and
if
then
you're
they
not a
collab
good
with
drawer,
Oh,
them.
if you're,
yeah,
if you're
yeah,
not
yeah,
a good
yeah.
drawer, it's
You
it's
can
not for
buy
you.
those.
I'm not a good drawer.
No,
You
it's a
probably
good
already
talent.
lost.
I did not receive.
That's
neither.
that's me. Bro, I'm technically 30 now, and it's like I still draw stick figures. I don't know how to draw, so it's like
But it makes it
Yeah.
funnier when it happens that way.
Yeah, if it's like a really bad drawing. or
Yeah,
something.
it's make it funny.
Listen.
Do you have any secret talents, Dallas? Dallas? Not talents, Dallas.
Dallas. I'm really good with a butterfly knife.
What is a butterfly knife?
It's like a tricky.
I couldn't even
Go look it up, kids. No, you can't.
It like you.
Yeah, it's like 3 things, right? So it's like 2 handles and then the knife,
Oh,
and then you
okay.
like twirl it around and spin it, and
That's cool.
Oh wait,
Random.
I've seen
Huh.
that. I've seen you with
That
that.
actually is
yeah.
a talent.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of them. I love to collect them when I go travel. It's kind of like
Yo,
the thing that I.
Do you
That's
still
really cool.
collect?
Really random.
Yeah.
Do you still collect those like you had like swords or blades or stuff from like?
Yeah, I've still got the collection. I haven't updated the collection in a long time.
No,
Yeah.
I remember. You literally just reminded me about this whole. I
Yeah,
remember
I've got
walking
all
in.
kinds of Lord of the Rings swords, and
Yeah.
Awesome.
mainly Lord of the Rings swords, and yeah.
Collections.
So real quick, because that also got me thinking. So with your music career, so have you released any recent projects there, is music for you? Is it like all singing, or do you also play like a ton like instruments and you collaborate with other artists?
Yeah, I definitely play a lot of instruments. I play piano, drums, and guitar. It's been a while for like live drums because I haven't had a kit in a very long time. And I'm kind of looking to move towards the DJ direction right now. So
Really?
I haven't released
Okay.
anything in a while. Yeah, I just like I don't have the time to do both unless I do the DJ route, because I know that like
Mm-hmm.
having like a band and other people and getting together and like trying to
Right.
rehearse and all that kind of stuff. It's just I don't have the time for it.
Mm-hmm.
So and I love like pop, electronic kinds of music, and I love those festivals.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to move into that genre right now, and it's just gonna take some time before I release anything.
Really dive deep in there.
Yeah.
Okay. And how did like learning instruments, like you said, piano, guitar, and drums? What was the first one? And after all of that, is it easier to get into other ones?
Yeah, it's definitely easier to get into other ones. Piano was the first. Right around the same time as drums, and then guitar.
Yeah.
It's a lot of instruments to be able to play.
Yeah.
pretty
It's fun.
legit.
Yeah.
I'm not amazing at any of them, but like I know the basics.
Well, no, you are. We've done a song together, and it's an awesome song, by the way.
That's
It
right.
is.
Yes,
You
and
guys
I'm
did do a
super,
song together.
Super
It
stoked
is.
for it when it shows its light into the world.
It will. It will. I don't know
Well,
if you know
I've-
anything about the movie, but yeah,
It's
it won't be.
coming-
It wouldn't be
to
coming out
movie.
until the movie.
Yes,
So.
it's gonna
Well,
be a vibe.
I forgot about that. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's a good one.
It's a great one. But saying that, I feel like that's also a natural instinct for you in the DJ realm of music, because
Yeah.
hearing some of your productions and stuff, it just comes very natural to your ear.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I love making it, and I taught myself to produce so that I could do it.
Yeah.
I still gotta get a DJ board though, so I don't know how to actually DJ. I know how to make the songs.
Crawford knows how. He can teach
Yeah.
you. There you go.
Well, he actually,
I do
he
need-
has the board and he's done events and stuff like that.
Yeah, I need to just get the board and do it. I know that once I get the board, it'll be like
I was gonna say, yeah,
maybe
what
3 months, and I'll
You'll
be
be like-
Yeah.
pretty dang good at it.
I feel like
DJ
the
Dallas.
well
DJ Dallas on the mic.
is Heart, is that like your brand?
I think I'm gonna stick with Heart.
Yeah, because I was gonna say I've seen you kind of like turn it into a brand, and it looks
Yeah.
sick the way you designed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only problem with it is it's hard for people to type because they don't know how to
Oh.
change the A.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You have to like hold down the A and then go and yeah,
Do
it's
some
like a
special
whole-
things.
Yeah, and people
Maybe you
are
should
just,
do a tutorial for them.
I have done a tutorial in the past.
It's like,
I have.
Been there, done that. Yeah.
So that's the only reason I would change it. But no, I do love it. I love the name.
that's really
Okay,
cool.
awesome.
Well, it is
That-
your name, so you can.
It
keep
is my name.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And is that so? But that's your brand, not just for music, but basically everything you do right now.
It would mainly be for music.
Okay. Okay.
Music. Maybe social media stuff, kind of, but not really. That's Dal Rules, unfortunately, locked in on that. Username.
That's stuck. Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's stuck. It's stuck there. I love it.
It has some history, some character. you
Yeah, I
know?
made it when I was like 10 years old, probably.
It's pretty crazy how long we've had Instagram.
Yeah.
Just thinking about it, like,
I don't even remember when it
I
started.
remember when it started.
I have no idea.
I remember. I think my first photo was with me and Rebecca Black.
there you go. It's a good
First photo
first. That's a
ever.
good first photo.
Yes, right?
Yeah. I mean, why not? Mine was with my siblings, I think.
I don't
Something.
even remember when Instagram came out. I don't think, I don't think I went on it when it first came out. I think I started hearing people talk about it and I was like, okay, fine, I'll try this thing out. Let's see what's up.
That sounds like a very Brandon response to it. Yeah, I'll try it.
Yeah, let's see what happens. And then here we are. Who knows?
Do
But-
you use your Instagram for real estate a lot?
Yeah. Now I mean now it's like if you go to my page, it's like probably like 99% real estate.
Do you think that it helps you?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, like so funny enough, I don't know if you've seen it recently, but I've been doing videos now with
Yeah, I saw.
me
I've
talking
seen some,
about
I've
it.
seen
Yeah.
some of it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like that alone has just catapult
Really.
the business.
Do you get leads like from like they DM you from the video?
Yeah, so I've gotten leads from the video for sure.
Yeah.
I mean like it's a hit or miss because I use a lot of certain hashtags that stick to the house that I'm selling. That
Okay.
kind of like align with that neighborhood, XYZ.
Yeah, you
and
want to
it's-
hit the people that are
Yeah,
gonna buy it, not
and-
someone in
Right,
Tennessee
right.
or something.
Way
Yeah.
And
over
it's a hit or miss because some people are like, oh, like hashtags aren't really effective. Some people say they are. So, I mean, in all of those videos, I also try to do like a small push on Instagram. So it's basically sponsoring it to
Okay. to
similar
go
followers.
to the right. Yeah.
Yeah, similar
audience.
people similar to my followers.
Yep.
So I've had people reach out from there for sure. But then I've also just I've also had more just people that follow me for some reason start seeing it, but for
Okay.
some weird reason never know I was in real estate. So I don't know if Instagram's just decided to just start pushing it to
Instagram's all over the place. I
followers
literally
now since I'm more
yeah.
consistent. But I will say what's helped me and the reason why I actually did it is because, I've been trying to grow the business and basically scale beyond my own network.
Yeah.
Right. So
Important.
it's like if random people are gonna hit me up or try to figure out who I am, it's like they got to see a face, right?
Yeah.
So it's like I sold a house recently in Woodland Hills like 2 weeks ago, and one of the neighbors hit me up and they saw my sign, but then they looked me up online and then they found my Instagram page and they're like, oh wait, you do a lot of work.
Yeah.
So
I say Instagram. I tell everyone Instagram is like it's a digital resume.
yeah,
Yes.
it's
Really, what it is.
Yeah.
it's the new business card.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, even going like when you meet so many people all the time, I sometimes remember who I met by going to my Instagram, being
Mhm.
like, "Oh, okay."
Oh, absolutely.
Now my
Yeah.
brain is coming into
Mm-hmm.
What are your what are your guys' thoughts on like TikTok right now?
Oh man, it's been
Give us some insight here, Dallas.
the engagement's been much lower for me, but over the past 2 weeks, it's actually increased a little bit. But it's nothing like it used to be. Like I used to get the most insane numbers I've ever seen. Like
Yeah.
just like posting anything.
Yeah.
I could post anything and it would go like
Crazy.
100,000,
Be
200,000 likes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it just stopped. It just completely changed and stopped. And then Instagram was doing better for me. And I was like, okay, like I'll do both. I'm kind of using TikTok as like an experiment for my Instagram now. It's almost like I'll post like a video. If it does really well on TikTok, I know it's going to do really, really well on Instagram.
Okay.
So I'll start it on TikTok and then move it to Instagram if it's like
I saw
hits a certain number.
I saw you post something the other day on Instagram. It hit like 11 million or something, didn't it?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's. I've had a couple hit that now. Like Instagram, like never used to be like that. Now it's like crazy.
I was gonna
numbers.
say, yeah, that is rare for Instagram.
Yeah, I don't actually see those numbers very often.
I've hit that like 3 or 4 times in the last month.
So
That's
what would you say your strategy is? And how do you kind of work that out for yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I just try to be as relatable as possible. I try to pick something that's kind of like funny, relatable, and then I make content around that. And then it's kind of up to the Instagram algorithm, which is all over the place these days.
I was gonna say it's so confusing. It frustrates me, and it's like I feel like the more you try to pay attention to it, the more it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, Instagram literally invited me, so they flew me to San Francisco.
It's awesome.
I went to the building. I was like part of I don't know what to call it. It wasn't a conference. It was like with the internal Instagram team,
Okay.
asking us questions about like what would improve the app.
Yep.
Okay.
And like there were things that we were saying that are just like normal things, right?
Right.
That they were just like, wow, we've never thought of that before. And they were
No
like
way.
actually intrigued. And we were like, yeah, like you should bring in creators like this more often to the internal team and like have them talk to you about stuff. Because like on Instagram specifically, when you're like making a video,
Yeah.
like on TikTok, you can like reverse because you made a mistake, right? And
Yes.
you're like,
Right.
You can't do that on Instagram.
Yeah.
And so I brought that up. I was like, please, it's so easy to make.
Please.
Yeah.
Like it's just the simplest thing. Because if I want to make a video to a sound, you can't like
Yeah.
download Instagram with the sound anymore. So it's like I can't go to an editing thing, make it with the sound, go back to the. I just want to build it in the app.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I just want to film it right
Right.
there. And like
Yes.
if I make a mistake and then I have to delete the whole thing or go forward to the editing and then back to the filming.
You don't even want to post about that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have been doing those conversations. I remember the first one that they did like years ago. But I think it's more just applying them in a way that like,
Yeah.
I don't know, it's interesting.
I don't
But
know.
it is cool that they honored you and
That
brought
was
you
awesome.
out.
It was very cool.
and
Team was
have
they were so
discussion.
nice.
So
they were
nice.
such nice people.
And it's so much fun to go to the Instagram and Facebook like
Yeah.
places because they just have all the snacks.
They have a cool little
and-
cafeteria,
All
like
the
Yeah.
snacks.
multiple
They
floors
do.
with cafeterias.
It's
Yeah,
amazing.
it was sick.
I've never been to the San Fran one, but
San Fran
here
one was really nice.
yeah, that's an honor to be able to. Well, obviously you're doing something right with your socials. So I know that it's like you find something funny and engaging, but then just post it. Is there any kind of time slots that you use, or how do you find your topics, or is there anything I guess for people who are starting off in this business or just like really wanting to get into that?
Yeah, starting off for sure, I would, and it takes time, but I would just go through your personalized reels, like just go through the videos, but instead of just watching, like paying attention to like why that video is doing well and how you can use that with your own niche or your own videos. Cause I get a lot of inspiration from just watching reels.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
Okay.
oh, like that's, really great. I'm not going to take that same idea, but I'm like, that inspired me to like just paying attention to your creativity while you're watching and not
Yeah.
just doom scrolling.
No, that's huge.
Okay.
So you have a lot of focus in detail.
Yeah. When I'm
observing.
on there, I'm like, I'm not even really paying attention to the videos other than like, okay, like what can I get out of this myself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's studying.
Mhm.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a good way. It's
Yeah.
a good way to help build the brand.
Yeah.
But so before we end the episode, is there any advice you would probably give to like someone walking into the acting world and just trying to get that first break, and then same thing with social media as well?
That's such a tough one. Especially right now. The industry
true.
is just
Yeah.
the industry is just all over the place right now. I would say probably what we were talking about earlier, which is have your online presence in a really solid place.
Yeah.
Build your digital resume, have your Instagram show what you're doing, put it in your bio, because they're going to look at that stuff.
Yeah.
They're going to see your online presence and do their research on you.
Yeah.
They're going to. And I've seen people book shows and TV just from posting on social. So I would say social media is a great route to take if you're doing it the right way to move into the acting world.
Yeah,
Okay.
That's powerful.
I like that. Guys, did you take a note? Take a note.
Take a note. Also, go and check out all of Dallas's stuff.
Yes.
Yes.
Check it
Dallas,
out.
Where can they find you? How can they find you?
With my username DalRules on all social platforms. Yes.
Yes.
Awesome.
Even for Spotify and your music as well?
Spotify's heart, but I'd have to, that's the whole explanation to get into.
Okay.
You can find my music through Instagram. Just go to the link in, the link in the bio.
Amazing.
Awesome. Well, thanks for coming in, brother.
Thanks for having me.
We appreciate you. We love having you on the podcast. We will have all of Dallas's info in the description. If you guys have any comments or questions for Dallas, just ask us or go straight to his page and ask him,
Shoot
and
me
he'll
a
know where you
message.
came from.
Yay. Dallas, you're amazing.
Thank you for
Thank
tuning
you.
in,
Thanks for
guys.
having
Till
me.
next week.
Woo.
Yes.
Bye, busy babies.
Bye, everybody.